realistic strategy for victory? And of course, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think the answer was yes. And it's not only yes, it's a resounding yes. You have many opportunities being presented to you at this meeting, this conference. You've already heard from Jack McManus, who's talked to you about the John Birch Society. You've already heard from Gary Franchi, who's talked to you about Restore the Republic. And I'll just drop an interesting phrase here. It's called Freedom Force International. That's an organization I created specifically for this purpose, which is to recapture control of the power centers. You see, there are so few of them and so many of us. Why is it they're running the show and we're on the outside saying, please, won't you answer my letter? You inside the halls of power, won't you please follow the Constitution? Won't you please do what we, the majority, want you to do? And they just thumb their noses at us. Why? Because they have the power and we don't. What does that mean? They control the power centers of society. I'm talking about the political parties, the media organizations, the labor unions, the church organizations, the educational institutions, all of these power centers, the sociologists call them. This is the groupings of people that come together and they follow leaders. And whatever their leaders say, for the most part, they go moo and along they go. And it doesn't take many people. If you could just capture control of those major power centers with less than 1%, probably less than 1/10 of 1% of the population, you can control the nation. Duh, we know that. Why don't we do the same thing? Why do we sit around and just wonder about what we can do and write letters and complain, call into the talk shows? Those are all important things. But the end of that product, what comes out of the pipe, is we have to recapture control of the system. We have to capture control of the power center. And that's what the strategy of Freedom Force is all about. I hope you'll take some time to check it out on the website. It's freedomforceinternational.org. And be prepared to do some reading there. That's the ideology that I believe should be and will be the core of the continuing American Revolution. Now, can it happen quickly? Back to the bad news again. No, it can't happen quickly. Many people say, well, can we do it by next November, or the next election? No! So, are you going to quit? No! All right. No, it can't be done quickly. How long has it taken so far for the enemy of freedom to capture control of our power centers? Well, it took about 100 years. Is it going to take that long for us to recapture? No, not that long. But I think it'll probably take a generation, 2 at the most. And if you're not ready for the long view of history, if you're not ready to work for something now that you may never see in your lifetime, but you can think about it, and you can dream about it, and you can look at your kids and your grandkids and say, I did this for you. If that doesn't excite you, then don't come to Freedom Force, please. You're not welcome. That's our vision. It's the long view of history. We will win, but we have to keep the long view in our mind at all times. So that's the answer to the problem. All we need to do is quit complaining about it, and let's do it. And thank you for your time, and may the force of freedom be with you.